At rule. Before declaring the test methods, use the at rule annotation such as activity test rule or service test rule. The at rule establishes the context for testing code. For example, this rule uses an activity test rule object which provides functional test of a single activity, in this case, main activity. That class service test rule in JUnit rule that provides a simplified mechanism to start and shut down your service before the service is successfully connected when starting a service. Test. A test method begins with the test annotations and contains the code to exercise and verify a single function and the component that you want to test. So this is the example of a test. The activity under test will be launched before each test annotated with test. During duration of the test, you will be able to manipulate your activity directly. Before and after. In certain rare cases, you may need to set up variables or execute a sequence of steps before or after performing the user interface test. You can specify methods to run before running a test method, using before annotation, and methods to run after, using the after annotation. Before. The test method will execute after the methods designated by the before annotation. The before methods terminate prior to the execution of the test method. After. The test method will execute before methods designated by after annotation. Using Espresso for tests that span a single app. When writing tests, it is sometimes difficult to get the balance right between specifying the test or not specifying enough. Over specifying the test can make a brittle to changes, while under specifying may make the test less valuable, since it continues to pass even the user interface element and its code under test is broken. To make tests that are balanced, it helps to have a tool that allows you to pick out precisely that aspects under test that describes you to pick out precisely the aspects under test that describes the values it should have. Such tests fail when the behavior of the aspects under test deviates from the expected behavior yet continue to pass when minor unrelated changes to the behavior are made. The tool available for Espresso in the Hamcrest framework. Writing Espresso test with Hamcrest matchers. You write Espresso test based on what a user might do while interacting with your app. The key concepts are locating and interacting with user elements. These are the basic steps. Number 1. Match a view. Find a view. Number 2. Perform an action. Perform a click or other action that triggers an event with the view. Number 3. Assert and verify result. Check the view state to see its reflections the expected state or behavior defined by the assertion. To create a test method, you use the following types of Hamcrest expressions to help find views and interact with them. View matchers. A view matcher expressions to use with onView to match a view in the current view hierarchy. Use onView with a view matcher so that you can examine something or perform some action. The most common ones are with ID. Find a view with a specific Android. With text. Find a view with a specific text, typically used with all off. Conditions. The view uses the word ID. The text. Click word 15. Others including matchers for state and content descriptions and hierarchy. View actions. A view action expressions lets you perform An action on the view already found by a view matcher. The action can be any action you can perform on a view, such as click, for example, perform, click. Testing and adaptation view. Testing and adapter view. In an adapter view, such as a spinner, the view is dynamically populated with child view and runtime. If the target view you want to test is inside a spinner, the onView method might not work based because only a subset of the views may be loaded in the current view hierarchy. Espresso handles this by providing a separate onData method which is able to first load the adapter item and bring it into focus prior to operating on it or any of its children views. OnData method uses a data interaction object and its methods such as @position, check, and perform to access the target view. Espresso handles loading the target view element into current view hierarchy, scrolling to the target child view, and putting that view into focus. For example, the following onView and onData statement test a spinner item click. Number 1. Find and click the spinner itself. Number 2. Find and click the item in the spinner that matches all of the following conditions. As you can see in the above statement, matcher expressions can be combined to create flexible expressions of the intent. All of causes a match if the examined object matches all of the specified matchers. You can use all, is, and instance of. The test clicks each spinner item from top to bottom, checking to see if the item appears in the text field. It doesn't matter how many spinner items are defined in the array or what language is used to the spinner's items. Test performs all of them checks their outputs against array. The following is a step-by-step description of the above test. Number 1. The iterate spinner items. Methods begin by getting the array used for the spinner items. For example, in the statement above, the test accesses the application array by establishing the context with the get method of the activity test rules class and getting a resources instance in the application package using get resources. Using length or size of the array for the loop iterates through each spinner item. Number 3. The onView statement within for loop finds the spinner and clicks on it. The test must click the spinner itself in order to click any item in the spinner. Using recycler view actions for a recycler view. A recycler view is used when you have data collections with elements that change at runtime based on user actions or networks events. Recycler view is a user interface component designed to render a collection of data, but is not a subclass or adapter view but a view group. This means that you can use onData, which is specific to adapter view, to interact with list items. However, there is a class called recycler view actions that exposes a small API to operate on a recycler view. For example, the following test clicks on an item from the list by positions. The custom matcher extends the abstract type save matcher class requires that you implement the following. The matches safely method to define how to check for a view in a recycler view. The describe to method to define the espresso describe the outputs matcher in runtime pane at the bottom of the Android Studio is a failure occurs. Recording a test. An Android Studio feature in version 2.2 and newer lets you record espresso test, creating the test automatically. After choosing to record a test, use your application as a normal user would. As you click through the application user interface, editable test code is generated for you. Add assertions to check it a view holds a certain value. You can record multiple interactions with the user interface in one recording sessions. You can also record multiple tests and edit the test to perform more actions using the recorded code as a snippet to copy, paste, and edit. Follow these steps to record a test using Recycler View app as an example. Android Studio Project Recycler View 1. Choose Run and then Record Espresso Test. Select your deployment target and click OK. Number 2. Interact with the user interface to do what you want to test. In this case, scroll the word list in the application on the emulator or a device and tap word 15. The record your test window shows the action that was recorded. Thank you.